So it was the run after this one, I guess. I thought I found the right one, but I guess not. I have to say, those orbs were really bad. What gives, man? That can't be right. If I were there who donated infinity. Hey man, that's how these things work sometimes. Just, you aren't trying for it, you go do some stuff offline, you're screwing around, and sometimes this type of thing happens. How to get through post-game bosses? I don't know, dude. That's what we're aiming to figure out. Now we're taking a look-see at it. So this is already a lot better than the reset we just watched by mistake. Okay, that's fine. I should be able to get... No, that got really messed up. But it's ultimately not that big a deal here. Can make up for it with that. 2 of them got destroyed at least, so... 50-second orbs is not bad at all. That's completely fine. Want Sonic to beat this tomorrow? Hey man, he might. He very well might. This isn't a great run. There's a lot of stuff that went poorly. You will be able to see it. A lot of stuff went very wrong this run. So, right, this is the run where I did do this menu early. I was playing around with doing this menu a little early to make sure sliding dash was on cooldown immediately. And I believe I then completely forgot that's a thing. Yeah, I completely forgot that's a thing I did. So I lost a couple seconds opening the menu from muscle memory. This is what happens when you're doing runs offline, not paying the most attention to them. Not great. So, bouncing on over. That's perfectly fine. But yeah, I'm not playing, so if you want to talk and chat while this is going on, then, like, that's what I'm here for. Like, we're analyzing and chatting. So, that's a good alignment. That'll definitely hit. Nope, it's a 45-48. I thought I'd stop it. Dude, I think I went for the optimal routing here, because why not? And that worked out well. It's coming out. So, those dwarves were pretty decent. I mean, that's just how you want dwarves to be going in this route. It's a lot harder to do dwarves well with the change and picking up that payback raid chest. Like, that makes doing this optimally pretty difficult. So, yeah, we're just going to head on around. I popped off. I didn't cry or anything. I did pop off when it happened. A good old empty swing into not analyzing. That's a good start. How did I get it? I don't know, Sage. That's what we're here to observe. So this is all fine and dandy. That thing's at 1 HP, so an arrow will hit. Okay, Flood's not really that big a problem. Got the hit there, nicely done. This is all cool and standard and nothing ridiculous right now. I love how bad I am at running Floods over, though. That's always funny. Hey, help me! Okay, so that's Grapper's following, which kind of sucks. Shimmerine's annoying. I'm pretty sure I counted for that in all my menus this run. That's a fine escort. Yeah, congrats on sub 4, Sage. That's really cool. But I'm having a lot of very small things going wrong here. Like, I'm pressing X too early, and I'm getting empty hits instead of hitting interact. I opened the menu for no good reason, which lost like 5 seconds or something like that. It's like some just dumb mistakes happening that really shouldn't be. So, is it this fight that went horribly wrong? This isn't the RNG I want right here. Get the hit in, run away. Did you jump? No, that's all fine and dandy. Oh, yeah, the fever pitch lost me a couple seconds there. 627 Dwarf Woodlands isn't very good. I mean, speaking realistically, it's just not a very good time. Like, anything sub 620 is considered good. Mid to low 620 is, like, fine. As long as it's below, like, sub 630, I'm perfectly happy with it, and I'll continue it, which is what happened here. But, yeah, that's not really the time I wanted. So that leaves, it lost 17 seconds to my gold. Realistically, it's a good between 10 to 15 seconds time loss, depending on RNG and other things, because you have to keep into account. Because that split counts orbs, it counts dwarves, it counts escorts, it counts tree. Okay, congrats, Sage. But yeah, that's a good, like, 10 seconds you could save there. All this movement is fine so far. I remember the grind was funny in this. It was two room grinding, but it was really weird two room grinding. Grab the thing, not ideal. Nothing you can really do. So, not the ideal start here. I finally got a D-Link drop, but that's not really when you want it. You want it earlier than that. But that's 2 D-Link drops before the boots, which isn't terrible. I mean, that's a fine enough start. I think this is where things got weird. Yeah, I got a D-Link, but I have no fleetings at this point. 0 fleetings to my name. It's actually interesting I chose to revert there, because that led to this guy dropping a level. He didn't drop a fleeting, I don't think. He dropped 1 fleeting, and he dropped a level, which meant I could get out, revert to Terra, and be done with my D-Links. So I'm done with D-Links and have 1 fleeting, which is not a bad place to be at all. And then I just get really lucky with this throw. See, 1, 2, 3, like everything I could ask for. I have to throw 1 more to get D-Link back anyway, and I get my Wellspring. That's incredibly lucky. Like, as far as two-room grinds go, that was very, very good. Like, that is a solid grinding segment. I saved time to PB, which is not easy to do. 9:25 is a very good time out of grinding. Like, it's just very, very good. I've had faster, but that's a really solid time. And I got best Lucifer RNG. Thank goodness. It had to happen eventually, right? I was having some pretty terrible Lucifer RNG for a while there. And Lucifer's the reason that this 4608 wasn't a 45 to begin with, so it only feels right. Like, that run, he charged instantly and lost me, like, 15 seconds? Something like that. Previous run, so feels good to get that out there. I love how screwed up Maleficent's horns get on this icon. It's very good. It is very good. But to this point, 9:25 out of grinding is very, very good. I think the fastest I've left grinding is somewhere around the 9-minute mark. Like, it is possible to be 20 seconds faster than what I got, but it takes really good RNG. Like, you need the good Dwarf Woodlands, and then you need basically the RNG I got, or somehow better. Which is possible, but that's pure randomness at that point. So in terms of realistic time save, like, I would say the 10 seconds in Dwarf Woodlands is realistic. You can theoretically get like 10 more in grinding, but that's not nearly as realistic. And all this movement in Enchanted Dominion is pretty good. Nothing terrible going on here at all. Which is good, because I was screwing up that movement for a while there. It took me a good amount of effort to be able to reset that movement and do it correctly. I don't think these goons are very good. So you have to wait here for another goon to be on screen to be able to continue doing the Sonic Blades, or else it just doesn't really pan out. So this is all fine and dandy so far. Dodging some arrows narrowly. Not a good Sonic Blade there, and this put me in a weird position. I lost like 5 seconds playing it safe right there. And not a lot left here, I don't think. Yeah, here I didn't have the finisher, but I was able to get a nifty end to that fight. That's such a cool end to that fight. I played that extremely well. I'm really proud of that. Like, the two things I'm really proud of so far are, that shift to get the second level of Terra and the end to that fight. Both of those were very good. That fight in general was fine. I mean, it would have been bad if I didn't save it with that ending. With the ending I got, that fight was perfectly fine. A little bit of muffed movement there, but nothing too ridiculous. Nothing too ridiculous at all. The last second hit. That sliding dash is a lot harder than it looks, because if you don't hug the wall, then goons elsewhere spawn and everything gets messed up. Did I remember the shimmering here when I was avoiding? I did. Cool. And a little bit of a menu mishap there. Nothing ridiculous. Everything fine. So, including this run, I had, I believe, 10 runs in a row where Maleficent gave me bad RNG. Which she does here. Say, yep, Joe, this run already happened. We're watching it. But I had something like 10 runs in a row where I got bad Maleficent RNG, like I did here. But, dealt with it well to start off. I was in a good position in case she went up to the top, because she's been really mean lately when it comes to that. She gave me the best RNG out of here, which is teleporting immediately to you. There's multiple things she could do. That's the best in terms of speed. So, and then that's pretty bad RNG is doing lightning. Like, the best RNG in this fight is if she goes in the middle right away, which hasn't happened for like 10 runs. If she doesn't, though, what I want her to do is after that first sleep round to teleport to me, then immediately do a sleep or lightning attack. Her doing 2 sleeps in and of itself is really weird. Like, I'm not sure what she was up to. Her AI was doing weird stuff. But that was my biggest time save in the splits I was going up against. You can see 37 seconds. I got 28 of it back. So that was a really solid split. Like, good Lucifer RNG. Goons were fine. Movement was good. I got bad Maleficent RNG, which is, I think, the main culprit of the possible 9 more seconds I could have gotten there. I haven't seen good Maleficent RNG in quite a while. So I believe this fight was pretty not great. This fight, if you get the first sleep, it's really not bad. If you don't, it's really bad, and I did not. So I didn't get the second one either. I got the third, so I get in the fever pitch. Then was I able to get the sleep after that? I did. Okay, that's good. So that means I saved it pretty well. You want that first sleep to hit, so you just don't have to deal with him getting away. But that's, with the RNG I got, this is basically the best I could have hoped for, is getting that first sleep and being able to loop him afterwards. So that was good. As long as you're satisfied, Joe baby, that's what it matters. That is what matters. And then, well-timed finisher. So, I lost 5 to 10 seconds from getting bad RNG there, but I made up for it for the most part by having a solid fight, solid backup. So far the major time loss in this run is the 10 to 15 seconds in Dwarf Woodlands, and then the 5 to 10 seconds there in that fight. So there's theoretical time save in the other 2 splits, but it's not practical enough for me to really count it. I believe this run is 90 seconds behind my sum of best. Which means there is at least a little bit of time save everywhere, but like, I'm trying to see what's realistic within human possibilities. So this is all fine. I already have my wellspring from grinding, so there's nothing to worry about there. I believe I screwed up this menu quite a bit. It's like, New route, I sold the payback raid that we picked up earlier. Fire Dash, 4 Thunders, 5 Magnets, Ignite, and Confuse. And I bought the balloon letter here. I'm 50-50 on if it's worth buying the balloon letter there, or if you should just get the chest in Neverland. I'm split on that. That's when I completely screwed up the menu. Yeah, that's really bad. That's a good 5 to 10 seconds right there in menuing nonsense. That's really bad. We've had about 10 seconds of just straight up time loss in bad menus in this run. Which, obviously not ideal. Obviously not what you want. So... But that's my biggest complaint about it so far. The start of this run is pretty good. So, got that. Assume this menu has to be better by default. I remembered the shimmering's there, so that's good. Shimmering messing with all my menus, losing me like half a second per menu. Feels bad. Right, I got 2 blizzards, so that screwed that menu up. There were a lot of menuing issues in this run, for whatever reason. Like, I probably lost 15 seconds to menus throughout this entire thing. Like, something like that. There's a lot I feel good about in this run. The menuing is not one of those things. This fight's also not one of those things, I don't believe. I really like this fight's a lot better with the Firestorm stuff. And the Fire Dash change that Sonic implemented makes it feel a bit better, but dang do I just not generally like this fight. It's a lot safer now than it was, but it now feels like how fast you go is up to a lot of chance. Just because the party members are the most damage you have, and it's up to them how well that goes. So this is all fine and dandy. Everything's off to a decent enough start. I do the risky strats in order to get Firestorm here, which you get 1 point off. If you don't do the hit and you do a Thunder, you get Thunderstorm, and that screws up everything, so I didn't do that. Yeah, has so much health there. My Firestorm didn't really do any damage to him. My party members haven't really done any damage to him. Yeah, that's a bad fight. That is a bad Trinity Armor fight. I'd say add a 5 to 10 second possible time save there. My splits say I lost 15. That's not quite true, because there was a route change, and because of the route change where I bought more stuff in the shopping menu than I normally do. So I would have lost time to my best there pretty much no matter what, but the Trinity fight wasn't great. That's about 5 to 10 seconds probably, and the menuing miscues is easily another 5 seconds. So, like, 15 seconds on that last split. Like, that split's probably the biggest time save in this run. Like, I think that's the thing that went wrong the most. Remember that Ignite drop, because, that Ignite drop ended up being a pain in the butt. I'm still annoyed about that Ignite drop. You'll see why later. Balloon letter drop, so I really shouldn't have bought it. Like, I'm starting to think with this route you shouldn't buy the balloon letter, because there's no good way to... There's no, like, easy, quick way to menu to it in the Moogle. And there's a decent chance you get it in a drop, and if you don't, there's a chest later. So I think not getting it is probably going to end up being faster more often than not. So, last second, not great movement there. But nothing too ridiculous. Nothing too ridiculous. So, mid-25 out of Radiant Garden. I mean, this is a solid run to this point. So the biggest problem with it to this point is what I got in Radiant Garden, the first half, up through Trinity Armor. That can be better. That could definitely be better. So, silly movement time. That's one of the scarier Enchanted Step things I've done. That looked precarious for a second. So, I really do think menu here with this route is the faster option. If you have one less slot, but it's not that big a deal. Here's what is a big deal, though. I auto-muscle memoried putting on the command below Ignite because it's confused, except I got another Ignite drop, so it was another Ignite. So I have 2 Ignites equipped, and that's going to lose me 5 to 10 seconds having to unequip that in the next world, because I noticed that in the Olympus Coliseum force fight, so yeah, that sucks. That's so rare that you actually get that drop. And it turns out to be bad if you do that. Like, that's something. That's something. These ice cream beads is ice cream bead. You're going to see me lose time to these splits, but that's because I did that big old menu there. Where in my best, which is a different route, you do not do a menu there. Nice. Nice. Yeah, I lost 12 seconds, which I did a whole extra menu there. That's at least 10 seconds, so I didn't really lose time. Everything's fine there. You'll see me... I'm behind right now, but I'm actually ahead because I did a menu earlier. You'll see me get the time back in this split. This fight wasn't great. I played it a little safe with the extra thunder, which is fine. So, this is fine. All fine to start. One of those jellies was not caught, which I don't think was an issue. It was an issue there, it was an issue here. Where that that jelly got separated, which is a rare thing that happens. I just went for it, and I paid. So that's 10 seconds lost of that fight, at least. That was a bad fight. No real ifs, ands, or buts about it. Bad fight. And this is where I notice I have 2 ignites. And I have to waste another 5 seconds to fix that. More than that. It was a slow menu. Jeez. So that's a good 15 seconds in this world. I think it's safe to say my biggest time losses in this run were here in Olympus and here in Olympus about 15 seconds, and in Radiant Garden about 15 seconds. I got kinda lucky I didn't get screwed at the end there. That could have been bad. Herc could have screwed me a lot more there than he did. So, urns are urns, and urns are boring, even watching recordings of them, so how you guys doing tonight? How are we holding up, chat? Any questions or comments or anything? This is hard enough to make boring when, or to make interesting when you're actually playing it, which I am not. So chat's dead. Feels bad. $216, that's low. Just like everything else in this run. So everything's fine and whatever. This fight's fine. I think I lost like 2 seconds to it or something, but it's fine. This fight's just a pain. This fight wouldn't be bad if Herc didn't screw up the camera as he walked. That's what makes it obnoxious. So yeah, that's whatever. So... attacking twice? I mean, that could be a lot worse. Wasn't bad at all. I believe I had to pick up the pulsing chest. I don't think I had a drop. For some reason, I got all the fleetings I could ask for, plus a couple extra, and a wellspring drop, but I didn't get a pulsing drop. The pulsing's usually the common one you get. Bit of a reverse this run. Okay, one of the guys didn't get caught. I probably should have spent time casting the extra magnet to make sure he did. But then I played this well, because that's going to suck the next wave in, and I can barely get the other one there, so... nicely done on that part. Wingblade is awesome, and always will be awesome. So that flood lost me a couple seconds, but that force fight was pretty fine. There's nothing bad there. No, most of the time loss in the split comes down to Olympus. Olympus was not good. Olympus had some definite time wasters. Ooh, that's a narrow save. That was a very narrow save. So... bouncing. Stitch is not being helpful. Yeah, Stitch is not being helpful. Stitch is doing nothing. This is a bad fight. Definitely time to be saved on this fight. Decided to play it safe, and then playing it safe didn't even work. I probably should have died there, but he was going too far outside, and yeah, that was a bad fight. So, Meta 2 was bad, and Olympus was bad. Which is why I only saved 17 there, when I had a full, 20... For context, there's a full, 30-second menu in Olympus that's being skipped. 30 to 40 seconds that I've already done. So, you want to be seeing something like that back, which I did not get. So, that and the first part of Radiant Garden, I think, are the worst parts of this run. Everything in between and before and after are very good. And if you're wondering, hey, you're only 3 seconds ahead, how did this get a 45? This world. This world is how it got a 45. Getting very, very lucky in this world. Which is kind of all I had to do. I had to stay even until around this world, and this world was bad in my PB, so if I could have it not be bad, then I could PB, and that's what happened here. That's one Bashful. That's two Bashfuls. That's three Bashfuls. And the fourth Bashful. We're done. Not quite perfect RNG, but it's the best RNG I've ever had. And it's pretty dang close to perfect RNG. So, yeah. That's how this run got the final time it did. Is this world right here. Like, in terms of things I can say I'm proud of in this run, this world, and, I really should have done my menu either closer to the reload zone or after I went in. That would have been better. But the things I can honestly say I'm proud of in this run were this world being very, very good, and, the Lucifer up through Enchanted Dominion splits. Aside from some bad RNG Maleficence, that was a really good split as well. Like, those were the two anchors of the run that made it stand out as a really good time, aside from, you know, grinding nonsense. Everything else was good, but there's time save. Like, there's 15 seconds here, there's 15 seconds there. So, I got what I was trying to get there. And good hook. Yeah, that Neverland, like, basically tied my gold. 17 seconds of time save there, like, yeah. That Neverland is usually what loses me good paced runs, because I usually get bad Bashful luck there, and it just ends everything. This time, though, I finally got good Bashful luck, and I took advantage of it. And, you know, still feels pretty good. All the cutscenes. And then final fights are just going to be final fights. There shouldn't be anything too ridiculous here. Yeah, movement's fine. This music's so good. This music's such a hype way to end a run. So he jumped fairly soon, which is good. My positioning wasn't the best. I whiffed a bunch of sword bills, but that's fine. Like, as long as he dies, who really cares? It's not that much time one way or the other. So here, he just refused to attack for a long time. So, a little slow just because of that, but I took advantage of it the best I could. Gotta be ready for this. Gotta be ready for that. Yeah, this was the point where my heart was thumping so hard I was having trouble controlling it. So, best RNG to start, and RNG next. Best RNG after that. And RNG after that, so pretty average. Pretty average last word RNG. And time. It's a good run. Like, there's no... The only real mistakes I made were menuing errors. Those were the biggest mistakes on my part. Was I had the double-clicking the menu in Dwarf Woodlands for no good reason. I had a very bad Radiant Garden menu. I had the 2 ignites being put in Disney Town. Like, on my part, those menus were the only real error that I made. Like, I